Thursday nights. I think I saw your brother earlier. Is he in? Oh, I know.
I came here for about 30 minutes in the morning. Birthday party night. I just got back about an hour ago.
That was fun.
That was awesome.
That was a good time, man. That's a fond memory of mine. Bam.
All right. Well, even if we're not, we can talk
We can
anyway.
just talk.
Talk anyways. And not be recording it.
All right.
I'm gonna walk down and come back.
All right, man. Come see us again.
Again later.
Mr.
All
Matt.
righty.
Give you a little introduction.
I introduced myself. Y'all introduced me.
Yeah, we got Mr. Matt here.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Gabe's dad. As I found out after I had children, you'll be baby name to be determined as dad.
Yeah.
That'll be your identity.
I've heard that a lot.
So I've been Alexis's dad and Gabe's dad for 25 years, no, 26. Alexis 25.
She's 26.
20
No, she's 25.
So 25. So that's been my name since, and even to this day, I'll see people and they're like, "You're Gabe's dad, right?" And I said, "Yeah, that's me." So, but my name is Matthew Hall. I say Gabe's dad, and enjoyed watching your guys' growth in this show for 60-some weeks now.
He's probably one of the only ones that's seen every single episode.
I've seen every episode.
Not even me. I haven't even seen every single episode.
I've seen
Through the good and the bad.
It's my Monday afternoon routine. Mondays is my slow day at work, so I get on what work I do have to do done in the morning. I've got the afternoon somewhat free, so I'll just sit there and watch and listen to you guys expound upon the nature of life, and I think you guys do a good job with it. It's like y'all got a lot more thoughts. I'll put it this way: you got a lot more thoughts about things than I ever had at 21, 22 years old. Because I didn't think about things that much. my thought was, hey, I'm finished with school now. Now what? And then 6 months, pretty much 6 months after I graduated, I got a job in television, WDKY, and I've been there pretty much ever since. Still there. Left a couple times, but always go back. So yeah, that's pretty much me. I moved to Estill County when I married Jennifer 27 years ago now. Yeah, so I have to do the math. 27 years. So, but I was born here. I was born in Irving.
Really?
And there's people who's lived here all their lives that lived here a lot longer than I have, but that weren't born here because I was born here at a time when they still delivered babies at the hospital. Now it's only if there's an emergency, but but yeah, they used to deliver babies here, and I was born here. And before it's Markham Wallace, because Dr. Markham and Dr. Wallace were still doctors. That's how old I am. It was just the Irving Hospital then.
Oh, that's funny.
So, but yeah, I was born here, but never lived here because my mom lived over in. That's where I spent the first. First few months of my life was over there off Snow Creek Road, Lovegood Creek, over the Powell-Clark border, and then we moved into Winchester. So I grew up a lot of places, moved to Danville, Junction City when I was 6, and lived there till I got married and moved to Irving finally. I always had family here. My grandpa lived here and all that because my mom was from here. So, so that's kind of it.
I don't even know where I was born. Actually, I was sitting here thinking about that.
Probably Lexington or Richmond. Did
I'm
your mom and dad
guessing
live here
Yeah.
at the time you were born? So my guess would be Lexington.
Probably.
Probably Central Baptist.
Think-
That's where most kids these days seem to be born. That's where Gabe was born.
Yeah, I ain't sure.
Yeah.
But to get into our questions, we've asked the same 3 questions to everybody that's come through here so far.
All right.
Number 1 question, I'd assume you do. Why do you love Estill County?
Well, it's home. I guess, is the main thing. And like I say, my mom was from here, my grandpa was from here. We go way back in the history of the ancestors on like my grandmother's side. She was a Witt before she was married, and so that Witt family goes way back to. I was telling Gabe, you had Caleb Witt on here the other day on your show, and it's like we're actually related somehow. Somewhere. His grandparents and my grandma were somehow, But anyway, back in the day. But yeah, it's peaceful. It's a little slower pace. I work in Lexington every day, so I see that, and I much rather live here than over there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a great place to raise your kids, and especially if you get them involved. Kiwanis and, youth football and, seeing you guys grow up together.
That seems to be the consensus of today.
People.
The people that make it.
Yeah, the scenery is beautiful. I mean, my thought has been there's no reason that Irving couldn't be, and we don't want it to be Gatlinburg.
No.
Don't get me wrong.
No.
But we should be able to have more. This is great. The Mushroom Festival is great. People come in. We need to do more things like this, get more people coming more than one time a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're trying. They're with the rail yard and music festivals and the things they've did over the past few years. And, but like I say, you don't want it to become too busy.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't be such a great place to live.
Yeah, that's not slow paced.
But
like
I really
all love.
think there's things that we could do as a community. I think that would get a little more people coming in it and spend. That's what you want. You want them to come spend their money here and then go back home.
Yeah.
Go
That
back
would
to where
be
you work.
that'd be the ideal thing. And yeah.
Next question that we've asked everyone is, how do you define yourself as a person?
Oh gosh. Well.
It's a lot tougher one, ain't it?
Yeah. How
What's
I
up,
define
Hunter?
mys-
How
How
you
I
doing, buddy?
define myself as a person. Is that the record breaker right there?
What's up? What you
He
doing?
goes out the first time and runs a mile and breaks the school record.
Yep.
Yeah, starting to get mad.
Man, he's just a freak of nature right there.
I'm doing all right. Look at this, Hunter. Went out and got after it this morning.
Already first?
I got third overall, and I got first in my age group.
Look, yeah.
1826. Yeah.
Yeah, I got third place in my age group. Old man, third place. That's not too bad.
So yeah, have a good one, buddy. So,
I finished. That's the main thing.
yeah.
I thought we'd maybe talk about that a little bit later. But
Yeah.
So how do I define myself? Gosh. Well, like I said, I guess I've always seen myself as somebody who tries, maybe not always succeeds, but always try to put others, co-workers. I've always tried to do that. And I guess I got that from my mom. She spent her whole life putting others first, and she may not think I ever noticed, but when I was a kid playing sports and being at games and stuff, she was always there, and that's one thing I've always tried to be for my kids, whatever they have going on. I've always tried to be there. Y'all's case, football case, I was probably there too much. I think I saw every practice you guys had in high school. Not just the games, but I was at every practice.
Yeah, you probably did, yeah.
And that's unusual. And some people might think a little bit going overboard. But it wasn't like I was just there watching. I was there working. I was helping out, That your freshman year with Coach Jones and Coach Swim and all that. Coach Swim said, "Don't you do video?" I said, "Yeah." He said, I was there every practice because I was videoing y'all's practice and videoed the games. But even before you all were in high school, I started doing the clock, football games. So been doing that now for 10 years or whatever. So, but and things in life happened that with my job and everything that I had the time to be, and that first year in 2017 when they did some cutbacks, go to Lexington every day, I was able to come out to the football field and watch you guys practice every day. So, and I know it maybe put Gabe in a tough situation sometimes. Well, Gabe's dad's here again. But, I tried to not act like Gabe's dad during those times. I tried to act like the guys helping with video, or the guys who, the booster club president, or, whatever. So, and I had one kid when I was coaching Little League, I don't remember which one it was, told me once, he said, you know why I like you, Coach? I said, why is that? He says, because you don't treat Gabe like he's your son. You was coaching, Mighty Mites and Little League and all that. I tried not to ever show any favoritism, and sometimes I might have went the other way with being a little tougher on him than the other kids. But so I thought that was good. So if I define myself, get back to your question, is of course now, hopefully I could define myself first as a Christian, a husband, and then a dad. And those are my top three priorities.
I like that answer.
And sometimes I fall short on all three,
Yeah.
but I do try my best.
Someone that tries. I
That's
like that.
definitely the most thought out answer we've had all day.
Yeah. Some people get camera shy.
A little bit.
Well, this next question kind of goes into what you said there at the end. You fall short. We've been asking people what's their struggle. What do they struggle with? Something that you struggle with, you're comfortable sharing.
Golly. Well, something I struggle with. I guess going back to trying to put others first, and I guess sometimes when you feel like you're not doing enough for people, that sometimes you overcompensate.
Yeah.
You and I have talked before that maybe part of this, my mom was always there for me, but my dad wasn't. And I always said I wasn't going to be that dad that wasn't a part of his kid's life. And so maybe I did overcompensate at times, but I do that in other things too. I think I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very emotional. I get too emotional too easy. Gabe's probably seen that. Sometimes the emotion comes out in being angry. Sometimes the emotion comes out in being sad.
Yeah.
But that is the struggle for me, is that I'm I've always had that, I guess, obsessive personality. Is that right? That's why I struggled with weight so much, because if I like something, I really like it. If I like to eat, I'd eat, And so just guys inspire me. I know it should be the other way around. You're supposed to learn from the older generation. At least that's what they always tell you, but I think you can learn from whoever is doing something right. And I think what you guys are doing is pretty great. You're doing this podcast, and just, back when I finally decided, hey, I got to lose weight. And I lost 60 pounds. Well, what's he do? He has to show me up. He loses 100, So, but we kind of started that around the same time, about the same time. And, of course, he was a little younger, has a little more energy, and he could go at it a little bit harder.
I don't have as many responsibilities.
Yeah, and I think his determination was probably a little bit more. But it's like today in this race, I was going to tell you about. So, the first stretch, I ran the farthest I think I'd ever done in one stretch. I ran all the way down around the corner and started up River Drive before I had to stop. I didn't stop, but I just slowed to a walk and then run some more. So I got about halfway. I was getting ready to turn there at Broadway, and I looked on the phone to see where Gabe was, and I was like, dang, he's done. And I'm like, I'm not even halfway, and he's done. But anyway, I thought, and as you know, as you're going up River Drive, you can look at all them little roads. Well, I could just go up there. So here's what I did. I was like, all right. So I took my hat off, put it on backwards. And I ran the rest of the way until almost to the finish line with my hat backwards because it just made me
Yeah.
feel like
You're
I was a
going
little more
faster.
determined. Yeah. So, but when I got close to the finish line, I put it back up front because, you know, I have been in television for 40-some years. So it's all about branding. I understand that.
That's right.
So as I crossed that finish line, I wanted people to see the Be Good to Your Brother hat. I wanted it up front showing.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if anybody's even watching right now, but if you are, check these guys out every week. They're going to. Do I agree with everything they say every time? No. Have I tried to say, Gabe, maybe you shouldn't have said
What's
that.
up, Luke? How you doing?
Hey, Luke.
Oh,
Doing
Hey,
good.
buddy.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Congratulations to you. You got you get married coming up pretty soon. So that's
Yeah.
what I thought. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, we're live right now. You want to come on and say hi? All right, I'll see you. Good to see you.
But yeah. So, but we're all the branding and all of that, and then talking about you guys. Just keep doing what you're doing. And if some weeks it doesn't feel like it was a good show to you, that's okay. You know, even like some of these shows that's been on television for 20, 30 years. Not every episode's that good, but you just keep going. Keep doing what you do. And that's the thing to me about, like, as I was coming back up Broadway towards the end, all the people up ahead of me, they were just going straight. They weren't doing that little loop because I guess nobody was standing there anymore after the.
No one was standing there at the beginning. either.
Okay. So, and I was saying, well, all these people, I said, well, I would save 2 minutes on my time, but I thought, well, I said, there's no shortcuts in life, so I have a shortcut in this race. So I went up and ran that loop, and I saw that there were people that were behind me while I was going around that loop. They went on and got ahead of me, but that's okay. I know I did the full 3.1 distance, and so, but that's good. So, and it's like I don't remember too many times Gabe as a kid wanted to quit anything, you know, like the ball or, you know, we started. But, you know, it was like, well, if you start something, you finish. If you don't want to do it next year, that's fine. But if you start this season, you finish. And so, like you guys, you started this, finish it.
Yeah.
And now whether that finish is, you know, and you know, we started doing that engineer report over 5 years ago now, and I never thought that would go this long. But and my original goal was, well, when Gabe got out of school, I wasn't going to do it anymore. Well, then it was like, well, Gabe and Jake and his class, Ty and all those guys, they're not dead. And, you know, and it's like, well, he's graduated now. And it's like, well, then you got like Hunter Bingham that just walked by here. Well, you know what? This kid's pretty cool. Publicity, so for what it brings. But, you know, I have 300 or 400 people watching every week, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I've had people in the community say, hey, you did a good job on that. We appreciate it. It's like, thanks. Don't know who they are, but I know they've got a kid or a grandkid that plays at Estill, so they get to see me, you know, talking about them. So that's kind of the goal of that show, is to just bring some attention to those guys and girls.
Cool.
Yeah. Shout out the engineer report.
That's pretty much. It's hard to tell people about yourself when you feel like they know about you.
I
But,
know it.
but anyway,
I feel like I get on here and talk about the same stuff every single week.
yeah. But
It's
Yeah, I feel like you said, every now and then you feel like you have a bad episode. I feel like I have a poor performance
yeah,
most of the time.
you've gotten better.
it's
Have I?
okay. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
You've gotten better.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? No matter the situation you're in, if you follow your heart, most times you're gonna do the right thing. But
All right.
so,
Well, I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you
Appreciate
guys.
all the stuff you've done for me throughout my life and all that fun stuff. So
It's been my life pleasure to be you and Alexis's dad. I'll say that.
well, I love you.
And I love you. Love Jake. I love you, brothers, as brothers. And, you know, that's a great thing. Gabe's my son, but he's also my brother.
Yep.
Brothers in Christ, and that's the most important thing. So, all right.
Well, good luck holding the fort down.
All right.
Like 2 hours.
Yeah, you got to close it up.
I mean, we're here for 2 more hours.
Yeah.
We need some more guests.
Maybe.
See you
I'm
guys.
gonna have a bad sunburn on my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a little hot right there.
Feel it coming on.
See you later, guys.
See ya.
See ya. Well, Mister
MH.
MH
Shout out, man.
had both the dads on now.
Yep.
Both of them.
I'll never forget when Morgan's like, who was that older gentleman that you had on had on the show?
Yeah.
I'm like,
That older,
"Hey."
heavy set gentleman.
Oh, Jake's dad. Yeah, that's who that
Yeah.
was. So, oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Shout out Tom if he's listening.
Shout out Tom. Shout out Morgan.
All
man.
right.
Oh, it's funny.
I've been asking this guy
Timmy
for
Donuts.
a NASB
Yeah.
Bible, but he can't seem to track one down.
We've had some pretty decent views.
Yeah.
We had 80 views on the first stream, 35 on the second,
Sure.
18, 16, and this one, how many? Those are people probably just clicking on and saying what's
Oh.
up. But yeah, man. We've had a good turnout for the most part. Hopefully we can keep this stream going for the rest of the evening.
That's all right.
I shouldn't be as worn out as I am.
Dude, we've been here since 6 o'clock this morning.
I reckon
Oh,
I've
man.
been sitting
There's
since 10.
Yeah, but like, you know how it goes.
Oh,
I need
I
to
got
put
to
my
take his
phone
microphone back to Gabe.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I don't even feel like I'm streaming anymore.
Just here, man. So what's the plan for tomorrow? We need to get Mr. Williams on here in a minute. He said he's gonna come.
Oh. Matt walked off with the mic.
Oh no, that's funny. I didn't even think about that.
I was trying to.
Yeah,
I don't know if
don't
I
worry
got it
about
turned off. I tried to turn it off. But
Well,
probably heard me eating.
That's all right.
just walk away talking a bunch of nonsense.
That's literally part of my job every day is to make sure that the guests don't walk away with the microphone.
Yeah.
Because I take them back up to always say, well, let me get that mic from you. But I guess I'm not used to having it on. Oh, it's looking good. Ooh.
Hey, I need to get in the shade, man.
We need to move.
No, I think I'm just gonna like move over here.
Move down there.
It's too bad, you can always lower it.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight when y'all leave,
Yeah.
Yep, you're ready to go.
It's just not wanting to connect.
Hey, I might be the fool.
I know it, but he walked away with it and got this. Or Bingham. What else are you?
That's it.
Or Bingham. What else are you?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. So, you got anything you want to talk about? Or do you want me to ask you the 3 questions we've been asking everybody?
You can ask 3 questions.
Okay. All right. So, we've been asking everybody these 3 quick county. Okay. All right. So, we've been asking everybody these 3 quick county. People, man. That's been the number
people.
Everyone knows everyone. And the location, just all that stuff. Self. That's a tough one.
That's a tough question.
As a person, how do you define yourself? That's a tough one.
That's a tough question.
As a person, how do you define yourself?
I'd probably say like if it were one word, it'd probably be like outgoing or
Okay.
competitive. Really,
Okay.
just everything I'm really competitive about. It don't matter what it is. So that's probably what I'd have to define
They're
myself.
so open-ended.
And
I
like they
it, though.
approach it differently too.
Yeah. Definitions of you. All right, comfortable sharing. That you go through maybe on a daily basis, weekly basis, or just a struggle you deal with in your life.
The struggle would probably be, I'd say, I'd go to weightlifting. Just waking up early every single morning.
Yeah.
And keep going, finding the drive to do it every morning.
Yeah.
That's probably the struggle of the every single day life.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I'd probably say that's a struggle.
Just 2 years ago, is because I know it gets me going. 2-3 weeks is like, yeah, you think I can do it? I'm like, I know it gets me going. 2-3 weeks is like, yeah, you think I can do it? I'm like, yeah, I've seen you run. You can go break the school record. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, yeah, you can do it. And so, runs the first lap in a minute. And so I'm telling him when he's coming up this last corner or coming up this last stretch to start his fourth lap. Said we got 400 meters of everything you coming up this last stretch to start his fourth lap. Said we got 400 meters of everything you got, and I think he gave it to me last night. And so he ran it, and he ran that last one at 1:13. I killed 12 seconds off the lap 3 time. And so, hey man, that's nothing. It's pretty tough to do.
Yeah, it's real tough.
Like, he went to go long jump afterwards, just couldn't. His dad offered him $200 to go. Yeah.
Other than mom.
But, nah, man, I've just been doing it a while. 993 days. So, but
Almost 3 years.
August 6th is 3 years, yeah. 3 years. 2 miles a day. It was 85 degrees outside, burning hot. I'm so dehydrated. I just ran 10 miles slow, like a lot. I was supposed to do them fast, but man, I gave it all I had. I came in there. I didn't know what I looked like. I probably looked like a zombie walking in there, dude. Dude, I went and looked in the mirror. My eyes were bloodshot red, and I looked like a ghost. It was scary looking. But I went in there, and I just laid down. Hunter looked at me and said, "You good?" So I'll be all right. Just give me a minute. But
Give me a minute.
That's probably gonna be me next Sunday.
Try to come watch.
Actually,
Yep. Told Dad about it. Try to come watch. Cincinnati, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
we'll be there. Get with me, and I'll give you like the address and stuff. What day you want to come? Sunday morning?
Saturday. No.
I'll finish around 9:25 at the finish line. Jake will finish. He'll finish eventually.
Yep.
I'll send you the.
It'll be my first marathon ever. Come watch.
Right there. It's a crazy. You weren't here for the race this morning, but like the race this morning, there's 100 people running it, and there's probably about 100 or so people celebrating you. You come in next weekend, 5,000 people. It's gonna be packed, man. He's regretting every decision he made.
I am, dude.
But it's like what I told you the other night. It's a mental.
I'm not even that worried about the run now.
What are you
I'm
worried
worried
about?
about it.
What are you worried about?
Well, like
the
right
logistics?
now, I'm thinking the logistics. That's gonna suck. 15,000 people trying to get out of Cincinnati.
Hey, just think we'll be one of the last ones getting out, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
For sure.
No, dude, they have them on lockdown. They know what's going on.
Yeah.
These people, they've done
They
this
get people out.
They get people in and out. Maybe not in, but they get them out.
Let's talk about you benching 225 the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
This brother spotted me on 225 the other day. I got it, and I put 235 on the bar, and I could feel it. And you can see it in the video too. I get it off, and my arm starts shaking. It doesn't go up.
Like you have no force against.
Who was it? Parton got over there. Parton walked in the gym. He was worn out, dude. Worn out from whatever he was working or whatever. He comes in.
Yeah.
It's like you went just like up and down the whole weight room at a different station. You do like 2 minutes at each one. Then you take like a 30-second rest. And then you his feet, just level with this guy's butt. He's struggling through pull-ups. And I hear him say something. But I can't tell if he's just like grunting, giving effort. I just hear noise.
Came on black.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
It means it's loading. Give us a
One weight with Mike Tate. So we put it on the bar. Just come video me. I'll go over there, video. He puts it down. It lands on his neck. I don't even know what I kept videoing, and he was like, "Help!" So I put the video down. I tried to try to lift it up, but when he was lifting it up, he would just hold it there, I guess, or he just wasn't helping push it up, so I couldn't lift it up. So we stayed there for about 5 minutes struggling to get it up there.
That was always the worst when you'd spot somebody on bench.
Yeah.
And they fail. You can't curl that much.
The other day, his right arm was a little strong. No, his left arm was a little stronger than the cliff's on. So
You doing that on squat? He had over 300 pounds on squat. Didn't have any clips on. And he stands up, hits a rack, everything starts sliding on one side because the other side went up
There's the
further.
dude himself.
Yeah, that's Parton right there with the lemonade.
The video we had at Caleb Knobb's house.
Yeah.
That's
The video we had at Caleb Knobb's house.
Yeah.
That's it is the worst thing ever. Well, then it is longer of a time. The finish line, and when I got done, I'm like, all right, man.
I don't remember.
We got to talk.
You should have sold.
I don't remember.
We got to talk.
You should have sold your T-shirts here.
I don't have any. Do you want one?
Yeah. T-shirts here.
I don't have any. Do you want one?
Yeah.
What size you wear?
Medium.
Oh, Mary. Oh man.
No. Pickles and banana.
That's
All right, we are here with
Hanging out.
Go. Parker. What's up, dude? How we doing?
doing pretty good today. I had a birthday party from a kid in our congregation, but how y'all been doing today with all the interviews and stuff?
Sorry, I have to divert our attention. There's a tie-dye T-shirt over there with a cat's butthole on it, dude.
Has it been there all day?
There's a good chance it has.
That's terrible.
Yeah, man, I'm doing good.
He's running for some.
Hey man, what about y'all?
He's running for some.
Hey man, what about y'all?
All good, man.
Doing great. But a lot longer.
Oh,
All good, man.
Doing great. But a lot longer than guests on here. Hey, what's going on? Longer than guests on here. Hey, what's going on?
I mean, just compared to other places, I feel like everybody here is it's like a tight knit community.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody here is it's like a tight knit community.
Yeah.
I like
As a people.
Yes.
And I think that's something
Along with the people
Yeah.
here. Like,
I like
as a people.
yes.
And I think that's something
Along with the people
Yeah.
here. Like, everybody's.
people ask me, what I do and what I do in my free time. The biggest part to that is I mainly, what I do in my free time. The biggest part to that is I mainly just I study the Bible a lot, read a lot of books. I mean my whole personality is kind of Bible based, just
Yeah.
about. But I mean that would, just I still have some parts, I still have some parts of me that ain't,
I like that. Good way to be.
you still got some work. You still got some work to do, right? In which we all do. We all sin a
I
struggle
feel like I've had conversations.
to do, right? In which we all do. We all sin a
I
struggle.
feel like I've had conversations. I've had conversations. I've been working on that, was hurtful. Been working on that, was hurtful or came out the wrong way that I didn't intend it to,
Yeah.
and that's just a bad look sometimes. And I completely, was it in James, bridle the tongue? It's one of the things I've got to be better at.
Yeah. I like that because shoot, how often do we talk and say things we don't mean?
Yeah.
It's all the time, and just being aware of it. Being aware that hey, that's an issue that you have, that's a struggle that you deal with, and working to get better at it. I think the self-awareness aspect of that is the most important thing, because if you don't know you're doing something wrong, you're going to keep doing it either willingly or unwillingly, and just out of whatever habit it is. And so, yeah, I think that's a neat one. But
Yeah, you
that's
can't fix a problem that you don't know is there.
Yeah, it's one of the things I got into a real rough patch here lately where I was in between jobs and stuff, and actually worked to get better.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one troubled in this area, able to carry each other's burdens. That's another thing about that text is it not only talks about me carrying your burdens or me carrying your burdens, but you've got to let me know your burdens so that I can help you carry it.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things we need to be better at as people.
right there with it. A big thing. I mean, that's kind of a conversation I had with Andrew Farmer the other night. He said, "Don't really expect. If you're praying for patience, if you're praying for opportunity, or you're praying for, man, I want to be better with my tongue." He's going to put you in situations where you better act on it. You know, you're gonna be in situations where, man, I could lash out at this person right here, and just go all in. But no, a bit about kind of the ministering schooling you're going into. What are you doing that on the weekends for the most part, or?
I go down. So Thursdays we have.
Is it in London?
Yeah, it's in London. I make the drive down to London 2 to 3 times a week. But Thursday we have Fridays, and upon that we'll go and try to do the thing. I've gotten a whole lot better at speaking and doing my studies whenever I write these sermons. That's one thing that's improved a whole lot, especially on my last one.
Proof cooler. You gotta work for it.
I feel like I could have put that in the bench box. Everybody struggled with that. They sit right there.
Yeah.
We were talking about the school.
Oh yeah. But so what kind of?
So far, my two best ones have been a narrative sermon and an inductive sermon. And so narrative is basically me at the crucifixion, like I've heard some, and so that inductive sermon this next chapel. So the way I like to explain inductive and deductive is inductive is like you're taking a hike up the mountain to the top to see the full picture. You got there.
Okay.
I can't remember how to explain it very well, but that's usually your typical sermon you hear is expository.
I wonder what kind of sermon I wrote when I gave mine. I just got up there and I'm like, man, this was over a year ago. I can't even quite remember. It was about complacency.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. But
And contentment.
complacency versus contentment. But
We got a whole backup group.
oh yeah,
There we go.
let's go, dude. But anyways, how many people's going to that school with you?
I believe we started out this year, my freshman year. We started out with I think 7 people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some things happened. One left the program, and one he just needed the first semester class to graduate, so he's just kind of.
Oh yeah.
So we've shrunk down to 5 people, and we've got 2 graduating dissertation and audits as well. I'd really suggest coming down to the module one time, Saturday 9 hours.
Yeah. Become a preacher.
Yeah.
What in the world?
It's a hard thing to do.
You know, I got up there, and that was the first time. I wasn't nervous a lick.
Yeah.
And I got up there, I preached it with this is,
Yes.
and how detailed you have to be and make sure that everything you say isn't, that you don't want to say anything false.
Yeah.
And it's like just realizing the severity of that is so much more.
Oh, it's terrifying.
It's nerve-wracking.
It's terrifying. And it scares me to death. Because, I mean, I can sit here and I can talk to you guys all day long about nonsense, whatever. I guess it just...
Which another thing is, too, dude, I don't know, and I know how they are, and they're very encouraging.
Yeah.
And
they'll love you.
Out of all the churches I've been to, and this isn't saying anything bad about the other churches, but this is just really positive about Sand Hill, is they are at Sand Hill, they're so encouraging.
Yeah.
And but I mean, I've got to go up to August, or I've got to go up into Ohio, and I accepted that. That's been like up there in my head, and just making me a little bit nervous because I don't, not knowing anybody's a little bit more scarier.
Yeah. But for me in a situation like that, it's almost easier, because like if I don't know these people, they're not going to think like I'm not going to ever see them again, or I won't be around them. But it's also you're going to make a first impression, and you're also making an impression of Christ on these people. So you also, it's a hard thing to do.
And one thing too is Derek, the guy that runs the program, the college, come back their view on to build that program and to make that program what it is today, and just to be a part and to be a product of that, because Aaron went there. It's nerve-wracking to have that on your mind when you go to all these other places and preach.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That would be scary. It terrifies me to think about me affecting.
Like, how great is it that you can have an effect on someone's
Yeah.
eternity?
There's double-edged sword
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I've seen some people say to think about, but I don't think we'll see somebody. If we're going to heaven, we're going to hell. I don't know if we'll see them, after all that happens. But it was like, imagine you see someone and they're like, "Why didn't you spread the gospel?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen one where it's like, which I think this is more realistic of happening. You see someone in heaven that you spread the gospel to, and you converted them, and then they look at you and they say, "The only reason I'm here is because you reached out to me." And that's just like, that's why the first sermon I ever preached was about spreading the gospel to everyone and anyone. I would get in trouble just because of the fact that I would sit there and have conversations with everybody,
Yeah.
and I'd always be talking to somebody about Christ or the gospel. And I mean, that's just one of the there's the Nerds Theology podcast. We often talk about the purpose of life, and we often talk about going out and the Great Commission. And I thought this was interesting. They said the purpose of life is to give glory to God.
Yeah.
Because in everything that everybody says, what does it all boil down to?
Yeah.
Giving glory to God.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, I mean, it's just the joy in heaven whenever you help bring somebody to an eternal relationship with God.
Yeah. For sure, man.
You should be in the glory of God.
Yeah. This is the method right here. Yeah. My neck is getting so burnt. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Unless you got anything else you want
Thank
to talk about.
I mean,
You can just hang out with us if you want to. We'll talk about whatever.
I do. I talked about the modules earlier. I thought it'd be something. I thought this was kind of interesting, and so we recently, the module was on spiritual warfare,
Yeah.
and the main verse was those who are against us, or those who are with us, are greater than those who are against us.
Yeah.
And we talked about the spiritual forces that are working against us and working for us. And it's crazy because literally right after we talked about that, this old friend of mine popped up in one of my dreams. And I thought, I haven't talked to that person in so long. And I reached out to him, talked to him, started a conversation. And they told me, they said, I've been praying for something from God.
Yeah.
I've been praying, I've been trying to us, and all the forces on our side. How crazy it is that she popped up in my dream, and then 2 days later I text her, and she's like, this is what I was praying for.
Yeah.
And I think it's just crazy. We probably, there's probably so many signs from God, and probably so many things that we experience
Yeah.
that show the forces working with us, but we just don't realize it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so interesting. And Blake Rush, I'm sure you've met him.
I think so. Yeah.
He told us a story, and I thought this was crazy too. He talked about how he was having thoughts about his concerns about his baptism, whether it was legit or not. Said he hadn't told anybody. And his mentor looks at him and says, "You're thinking about your baptism, aren't you?" And he looks at us. He's like, "Dude," he's like, "I didn't." It's blown my mind ever since, just thinking about the forces that work with us.
Yeah.
How great they are and how powerful they are and what they can do for our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been amazing, but I don't know if you've. This is another thing too. I don't know if you've studied this or not, but Calvinism.
A little bit.
Matt Vaught, but it was basically John Calvin saying something about a specific verse that he said it kind of just boils down to these are the people that openly rebel against God.
Yeah.
And when you really read that and compare it to what doctrine they say he's behind,
Yeah.
it really just against he just openly said these are the people that rebelled. Hebrews right now, we've covered Romans, we're covering the epistles,
Yeah.
every single one of them except for Revelation. Matt, the Hebrews thing, I'm sure you heard this, the main point is better. You know, the fact that the new covenant is better than the old covenant.
Yeah.
But just after studying it, dude, I think you could turn that into, the once saved, always saved doctrine, the preservation of the saints.
Yeah.
I think you could almost say that if there was a second main point to Hebrews, it would be about the possibility of falling away.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, so many times it just, those Hebrews 6 start first six verses. Hebrews 3:12. Those are the first two I remember off rip. And I mean, you got a Bible right there, dude. It's crazy how many times.
Therefore, this is Hebrews 6. Therefore, leaving the elementary teaching about the Christ, let us press on to maturity, not laying again a foundation of repentance from dead works and of faith towards God, but of instruction about washing and laying on hands and the resurrection of the dead and the eternal judgment. And this we will do if God permits. For in the case of those who have once been enlightened and have tasted of the heavenly gifted and have made partakers of the Holy Spirit and have tasted the good word of God and the powers of the age to come, and then have falsified to themselves the Son of God and put him to open shame, for grounds that drink the rain which often falls on it and brings forth vegetation useful to those useful to those for whose sake it is also tilled, receives a blessing from God. But if it yields thorns and thistles and is worthless and close to being cursed, it ends up being burned.
Dude, I mean, that one part, though, that talked about those who had once been enlightened, those who had tasted, that part, it mentions 5 different things and then it says clearly those who have fallen away.
Yeah.
And I'm writing that's my next sermon for chapel is actually on Hebrews 3:12, and I'm doing Hebrews 3:7 through 13, but the verse I was given was 12. And it gives an example of someone in the Old Testament, in the days of the wilderness.
Yeah.
And it gives an example of them hardening their hearts and rebelling and testing God, and it shows what happened to them. They will not enter his rest. And then it goes on to say, take care, brethren, that there not be among you any with an unbelieving or with an evil unbelieving heart, in case who falls away. That's not word for word, but it's pretty close. And then that's one of the verses we get, but encourage one another, and it's because it says that in the next verse.
Yeah.
Gives a brief little, here's how to keep from falling away, and it says, but encourage one another day after day.
Yeah.
As long as it's still called today. And I think it's just. I asked someone one time. I think I asked Matt Vaught this whenever we were going through Hebrews. I'm like, dude. How can Calvinists preach on Hebrews? Because, I mean, just about everywhere in this Bible, it talks about, falling away.
Yeah.
And the possibilities of falling away. And, I was just like, how do they preach on this? Because that clearly states there. And that clearly goes against what they say.
What they'll say, though, is like, well, they weren't truly elect then.
Yeah.
Is what they'll say. But I don't know if I buy that.
I think Aaron talked about this. He said if you get them in a corner to where they don't know the answer, they will just say, who can understand the mind of God?
Yeah.
And it's the ones along with that, another one I can't understand either is Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm in all seriousness. Have you had one knock on your door?
When I was little.
I had one knock on my door.
Jake had some Mormons talking to him last summer.
Oh, dude, I haven't studied the LSD much, but I had my dad. He wouldn't wake me up. This one time I was awake and they came and knocked.
Yeah.
And he came in my room and he's like, "You gotta come out here." I walked out there and dude, they upgraded from the pamphlets. They had a tablet.
Hey,
with-
QR codes.
Yeah, dude, they had they had tablets and everything. Like they weren't walking around just handing out pamphlets. He was like, "Can I show you this video?"
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, you can." And at that time, I wasn't, this was before I started getting real big into studying, real big in, this was before whenever I just had very little knowledge.
Yeah.
But I gave a welcomer, on Romans 6, chapter 3, or Romans chapter 6, verse 3 through 5. And I literally, this guy showed me this thing. It was talking about physically dying.
Yeah.
And while we were sitting there, I noticed, I didn't even notice what the verse, I noticed what the verse said. I read it. And I noticed that it was Romans chapter 6, verse 7.
Yeah.
Those who have died are freed from sin. And they tried to use that to talk about a physical death. But, that being the one text I was like, that couldn't be any more perfect. That was the one text I studied. And I looked at him, I was like, "Sir," I was like, "do you know the context behind that?" And I talked to him about how that was speaking to our spiritual death and baptism. And it was talking about when we've died to our old selves and we're buried in the watery graves of baptism.
It's like they just picked out 7. They
Yeah.
didn't read 6 and 8.
Yeah, dude, I'm not kidding you. That literally killed me. The fact that he tried to take that so out of context. And they've not been back since.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely think that
Then run them off.
Yeah, that 1 hour talk that they had with me was just enough to just say not going back.
We had something come to our house when I was younger, and they opened our gate. So I've got a fenced-in yard, big old fenced-in yard, and they opened our gate and let our dogs out. I could have not been good to my brother.
No, but Romans 6:6 says, "Knowing this, that our old self was crucified with him, in order that our body of sin might be done away with, so that we would not no longer be slaves to sin. For he who has died is free from sin. Now, if we have died with Christ, we believe that we shall also live with him."
Another thing that I just realized too, just as you read that, is the fact that when he's speaking of this in verse 6, he says that in a past tense.
Yes.
He says those who have died, those who have been buried, and it's crazy because whenever they speak of this physical death, they're speaking of a future. They're speaking of our physical death that comes in the future. But this is talking about the past tense.
Yeah.
I just think it's so crazy. You can take one verse and make the Bible say anything you want.
Yes.
I mean, it's awful sometimes to realize that. It's awful
You got to
sometimes.
read everything in context.
Yeah, and I mean Romans specifically.
Yes.
Like if there's one, Corinthians, you can flip to a chapter, have a completely new subject.
Yeah.
But Romans, trying to go back to my Romans class. Romans is a sustained argument. So you have people that go to Romans chapter 10 verse 8 and 9, is it? If you confess, I think so. But they'll go to that and they'll
Yes.
use that for salvation, but they're not taking in context what it said in chapter 6. Talking about the baptism.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just I love the first 2 chapters with Romans because it literally he flips from firing shot. This is not literal, but firing shots at the Jews,
Yeah.
then firing shots at the Gentiles. And so I preached a sermon on that. I made a joke and I said you could imagine during this whole thing, this whole letter being read, when he first points out everything the Gentiles are doing wrong, you can imagine the Jews are over there happy as can be, and the Gentiles are probably like sitting there, just looking down, hiding their face.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he turns it around and it's just like, dude, I was like, it's like a momentum shift in college football or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but I mean, after he does that, he then,
No, Romans is good.
Romans is a really good book.
That's where our theme comes from. Romans 5:3, you see it on the back of the shirt. Not only so, we glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance.
Yeah, I mean, there was one verse that
I wanted to bring back up Hebrews, what you were talking about. We stopped. What was it, 6?
yeah, we read the first like 8 verses, I think, of chapter 6.
Yeah, but like he talks about falling away here. The Hebrew writer who is.
My opinion is that it's Paul.
Yeah, it probably is, but it never says. But anywho, but he goes on and says, "But beloved, we are convinced of better things concerning you, and that things that accompany salvation, though we are speaking in this way, for God is not unjust, so as to forget to the saints. And we desire to each one of you show the same diligence, so as to realize the full assurance of hope until the end, so that you will not be sluggish, but imitators of those through faith and patience inherit the promises. For when God made the promise to Abraham, since he could not swear by no one greater, he swore by himself, saying, I will surely bless you, and I will surely multiply you. And so, having patiently waited, giving us confirmation, is an end to every dispute. The unchangeable and unchangeable things in which it is impossible for God to lie, we have taken refuge, would have strong encouragement to take hold of the hope set before us. This hope we have as an anchor of the soul, a hope both sure and steadfast, and one which enters within the veil, where Jesus has entered as a forerunner for us. He was a prophet, wasn't he? No.
I want to say it's Genesis chapter 15. I believe Abraham and Melchizedek, and this is so important. Melchizedek was the king of Salem, but I think, and then
Yeah, it literally says it right. For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham as he was returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him. To Abraham apportioned a 10th part of all the spoils, which first of all, by the translation of his name, King of Righteous, also King of Peace. Yeah, without father, without.
Yeah, so, but the thing with Melchizedek is the reason he says like the order, it's more or less like the manner. Melchizedek, what was it? The high priest, the priest bloodline was Levitic, and so that that's just so. I have notes on that, but I can't remember all of it. But I think it was to be better worded as in the manner of Melchizedek, in the same
according
way
to the order of Melchizedek.
Yeah,
in the
same way he became high priest.
Yes.
Jesus became high priest.
Yes. And it's important to realize, who exactly the Hebrew writer is writing to. A lot of people think it's Paul, but it's never really said. Who's he writing to in this? He's writing to the Hebrew people. So they're the Jewish people. They're going to know the history like that, dude. And they're going to be able to relate everything to what the writer's saying here. And they're going to be able to relate it a lot better than we're able to relate it right now.
That's why he quotes so much old. You look in there, and probably there's
so many cross references.
There's so many verses that the writer of Hebrews pulls from the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And dude, I just think it's so. And I mean, the another thing to add to what you said about who he's writing to is not only were they Jewish Christians.
Yes.
But they were so immature in their faith.
Yes.
As it says, the last part of chapter 5, where it says, the milk and the solid food.
But solid food is mature. Okay, for everyone who partakes only milk is not accustomed to the word of righteousness, for he is an infant. But solid food is for the mature, who, because of practice, have their senses trained to discern good and evil.
Yeah, the writer of Hebrews just basically calls them. He says, "You're a bunch of spiritual babies."
Yeah.
Like me, still like a baby or a toddler.
Oh yeah.
But where I've just
I would too.
I've accelerated. I don't know. I just went through a time machine that accelerated my learning and But a year and a half ago when I first became a Christian, I was a spiritual baby.
Yeah.
I needed the milk.
Yeah.
But now where I've matured in Christ, I need more solid food, more And that's what he's saying about this is I think they'd been Christians for some time now, but they were just stuck on the basic things.
The elementary principles is
Yeah.
what he's calling it here.
And this is another thing that I didn't know for Texas Supports Baptism is he goes on, and you read that in the first part, chapter 6, he goes on to list the elementary principles. And one of them is washing. I can't remember exactly. You'll be able to look at it, but it mentions the washing, which he refers to baptism.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it because this is one of the things where it's like chapter 6. I think this is how Aaron says it, so of course I say it the same way he does. But it's one of those things. Aaron always says he's like chapter 6. He takes the gloves off and he goes bare knuckles.
Yeah.
And I always love imagery like that. Like, dude, with the Corinthians this is one of the last sermons I did was the Corinthians. We talk about the Corinthians. They were such horrible people.
Yeah.
You know, we always, it's just, we always crap on them.
Yeah.
And, you know, none of us take in the fact the second letter, like, they were just people trying for Christ. And, you know, the sermon was about, you know, in spite of all their sinful failures, the fact that this Corinthian congregation was still the church.
Yeah.
You know, what does that say? What does that say about our churches today? And this also, I used something from a module I had in covenant theology, and he was explaining to us the covenant theology. And he one of the things he had on a slide was he had our salvation, our eternity with God, our eternity with Christ, is based on our position and not our condition.
Yeah.
Because so many times, just the past little bit where, but through all that, my position was still in Christ.
Yeah.
And I think it's so interesting to look at that because a lot of people, and they would go back and forth. And I think he explained that so well, just to ensure people that his grace covers so much.
Yeah.
And but I talked about this Corinthian church, dude. I feel bad because the church,
yeah.
And that my teacher Derek, he said you genuinely taught me something was throughout the 29 chapters in the 2 Corinthians, he constantly reaffirms. He reaffirms their love. He reaffirms that they are still brethren. They are still the church. Both the letters, he says to the church of God, you know, to the saints, you know, this, that. And then in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 11, it says to those who were, but to those who were sanctified, it should be.
You were justified.
If we see something going on in the church, you know, we wouldn't step up and be like, here, you know,
it'd be hard to correct it, man.
You know, some people say, like Aaron says some things. He talks about. He is
open carrying, Eddie. Yeah.
But I think that 1 Corinthian letter, I think it could be better explained as Paul just drops a nuke on it.
Yeah.
Just fully, constantly obliterating.
What's going on? You want to join us in here? Pull him up. Pull that. Yeah. What's up? It's nowadays too. And even I don't.
We follow Christ. We're only going to, you know, we might have some rough terms that they must do to receive the promise.
Your job every
day.
day.
Patient. This person's going to look at you and be like,
iron sharpens iron each other.
Yeah.
And then if we can't, the church does. And does the good, which is what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
well, that and could just that those are each.
Well, we're here.
Just that those are each.
Well, we're here with Mr. Brooks. He joined in on us. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Doing well.
I've enjoyed the festival.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of people. Had a really good time.
Yeah.
For being very big.
Yeah. Such a good spot on this, right down the road from Richmond, 40 minutes from Lexington. You know, we got the gorge in our backyard, and it's just beautiful here.
It has a rich history.
It's just beautiful here.
It has a rich history.
Yeah.
You know, this area has such a rich history that people don't study, don't learn about.
Yeah.
It's just.
How do you define yourself as a person? It's
a person.
yeah, it's kind of we step it up in the next one, but
Okay. As a person, I'm and helpful.
in our last question,
Because you put so much into it,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it just falls apart and it doesn't.
yeah,
You don't get the desired reaction.
yeah,
Mental health issues and
Yeah.
drug addiction, and it'll fall short, and they'll either fall back.
yeah. It's but what we've talked about, it's good that we can recognize that we've got these struggles and something we can work with too, and
You just have a productive life.
yeah. So what's your current job title right now?
I'm the chief of police here in Irving.
Chief Police in Irving. All right. So what's that entail as
I
a?
am the chief officer. You know what? I was pretty much begging him not to do it. Just because it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, not saying that he wouldn't make a great police officer. I just like there's other things you can do. You don't have to wear your courage on your sleeve or on your chest for a badge.
Yeah.
There's other ways to serve.
Yeah. And those other ways to serve, I mean, that's something that I'm trying to navigate coaching track at the high school.
The
And
greatest calling in this world is to be a servant leader.
yes, and it's a. I appreciate you. I appreciate what.
I've stopped him on the road. Like, man, good job. Because I mean, he's running every day.
Yep.
He takes good care of himself. Visits.
Them two.
What was I talking about on the bus?
Dude, what we were talking about on the.
I watched a lot.
Oh,
on the bus.
Dude, what we were talking about on the.
I watched a lot.
Oh, you were watching it
Yeah, I
earlier.
was watching a lot.
Oh, you were watching it
Yeah, I
earlier.
was watching a lot.
Where do we rank Tyler Toney? Where do we rank Tyler Toney as a top athlete of all time?
Hey, come here.
Tyler Toney.
Dude, perfect.
Top 25, easy. Top 25. Look at the accolades. Look at the world records.
Deep into stuff.
Yeah. Dude, I thought Parker was gonna go in on it a minute ago.
Can we talk about? Can I talk about that?
I don't give a crap, dude. I don't know who's watching.
Oh yeah, they were talking about that, and it's like
We're not gonna talk about.
oh yeah, they were talking about that, and it's like
We're not gonna talk about what Green was talking
yeah,
about.
no, we're just an example.
But anyways,
Yeah, it was
about who's God's people nowadays. I think that's
It's not the Israeli. It's not the Israelis. I'll tell you that right now. So there's a difference between Israelis and Israelites. The Israelites were God's chosen people in the Bible, which was before the death and crucifixion of Jesus, or actually before the birth of Jesus. Israeli now is more of a like a term meant for everybody. Like a Muslim can be an Israeli, or like
Nationality.
a Christian. It's like a nationality. But yeah, that's really they're not God's chosen people. I'm sorry, they're not. I'm just gonna say.
So who are God's chosen people now?
The body and blood of Christ.
And that is
God's children.
God's children.
And
There
those
we
who
go.
have trusted and believed in the gospel of Jesus Christ. We also talked about what did I talk about else?
I don't know.
Arsenic about.
But
I was talking about how a lot of atheists.
I mean, but I think it is neat that we can get on here and talk about it. You know, it's like sexual immorality. That's
and
more. That's
with
more
what I
than-
said about the Israeli stuff. I could be wrong. I could be wrong and say.
No, dude, that's one of the things.
You gotta stand on the truth, man.
Yeah, we do role playing in the school. Like it's sensationalist, I think is the term for them.
Is that like that's heavily involved on Jewish and like Israelites?
Yeah. So what they say is the church is a stopgap measure.
Yep.
And
I know exactly what you're talking
yeah,
about. Yeah,
dude. And he didn't give us a warning.
It's so hard to explain. It's like
he didn't give us a warning. He just jumped straight into it, and I was like, is he being for real? But then I realized we were in role play, and he basically just looked at us and he said, so this is kind of what they believe. They believe that nothing is going to happen until they remake the red heifer
until they get
rebuild
a
the
red
temple.
heifer without blemish, and they reinstall the Levitical priesthood,
and then they rebuild the
sacrifice
temple.
and they rebuild the temple.
And dude,
that could be true, but I don't know. I know. It could be. Who knows?
You know, like shoot, the Quran could be true. You know, the Book of Mormon, whoever wrote that thing, could be true.
like what-
you know,
what
but
Chris
it's
said, I
what
can't-
it's what
yeah.
it's what evidence points to. And for me, all evidence points to this thing right here being the true word of God.
The thing that I think interesting is there's so many religions like the Quran that'll say that Jesus Christ is one of the ways.
Yeah.
Well, they say if Jesus Christ is one of the ways,
Which is why I also, there's many reasons why this thing is the true word of God, but one of the many reasons is that every single religion out there today, most of every single religion, is about what man can do for himself or what man can do for his God. Christianity is the only religion on planet Earth where it's what your God can do for you, and it's how your God served you coming down to earth and dying for you on the cross. So I feel like that's one of the major arguments for Christianity, in my opinion, is that it's about how your God serves you, not how you serve your God. So that's what I like to think.
I mean, it's just there's a whole lot of things.
That doesn't mean do whatever you want to do, by the way.
Yeah, because I mean, Romans chapter 6, may we continue in
Yes.
sin to increase God's grace, may it never be.
Yeah, he says, God forbid, which is like the two strongest words in the Bible. He says, Lord forbid.
Yeah.
Oh, shall we sin more so grace will abound? Lord forbid.
Praise God, and they're like, this ain't going to do nothing
Yeah.
to me.
And, obviously you can't be perfect. I feel like that's another thing to point out.
Because all
But,
sin and
like,
falls short of the glory of God.
Yes, and obviously it can be perfect, but I think how it works is that it has to be you cannot make the Christian life a habit, like I said earlier. Like, it has to be a conscious decision every single day. When you wake up in the morning, you have to make an effort and make a decision. Like, I'm going to live this out, and I'm going to make this be my witness today.
Yes.
Like, it can't be like, what's a habit, for example? Sorry, I tried to get an example.
What's a habit?
What's a habit?
Brushing your teeth.
You can't be like brushing your teeth. You can't make a habit out of it. It's like, it's hard. it's really hard to every single day, but it's important to.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I talked about a certain part of the book of Matthew, but it said seek first His kingdom and His righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we talk about the word kingdom, we seek first to be subject to Him, to follow Him, and we're getting the whole group back over here.
Get Lincoln on here. I want to hear what he's got to say.
Come here, Lincoln.
Lincoln,
Come
hop
over
in,
here.
bro.
And it also says, I think frame by because it wasn't.
Yes.
In the book of Romans, the most
Changed and evolved. I agree.
Okay, here it is. For this and for that with men's sexuality, I don't know what is. Okay, here it is. For this and for that with men's sexuality, I don't know what is.
But again, it's no different. It says all people have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. We know this.
And so that's not
We're not trying to
that's not
call
pa-
any